Hey guys, what's up and welcome to a new Tesla update video. So the market literally just closed 10 seconds ago and we're here ready to go, ready to record and talk about the market and what happened today and what we can expect going into next week. Keep in mind, by the way, next week we do have things like the CPI data coming out, I believe on Tuesday. So take that as you will. You know, that's usually something that's important. Excuse me. Yeah, let's just jump into it. So Tesla, end of the day, actually up 3.62%. I'll be completely honest. Like, again, I didn't rule out the possibility of, moving up. I did say that there was definitely a chance. I didn't think it would go this high. And the main reason is because we did kind of blast through the 200 moving average. It felt like as if it wasn't even there, which is like weird to me. So we'll go over what I'm thinking will happen, moving in, of course, and all that stuff. So if you guys enjoyed, don't forget to hit that like button, but let's just jump straight into it. So 3.62% closing out at just shy of $300 per share. Now, I will admit, this is a pretty decent move, right? This is a fairly bullish looking candle, like just pretty much 4 bullish looking candles in a row. Back from when I called the bear trap over here, I literally have the video right here. Tesla huge bear trap 6 days ago, right? This was literally after this closure right here on this red candle. I called the bear trap, and I mean, I think we can all agree that this was quite the bear trap, right? So that's good. I'll be honest, I did exit too early, and I have entered a position to a short position, I guess, or like a put on SPY because I do think that the market is overextended. But having said that, let's figure out what we can expect going into next week. So let me go ahead and get a sip of water. I just finished eating something, so my throat's a little dry. Anyways, so like I said, Tesla pretty much blasted right through the 200 moving average. But let's start at the beginning, being a 21 EMA, right? We're above that. The Bollinger Band, we actually are above the white line now. So personally, what I expect to happen next week, very quickly, I'll just explain, is I expect red probably, maybe not Monday. I mean, like I said, Mondays tend to like to rhyme with Fridays. So I think Monday, maybe like best case scenario, I think is to retest like 302, 303. And probably get rejected. That to me is best case scenario. Maybe consolidation, or obviously just straight down ultimately to my target, which I personally think we're going to come down close to this 290 level. Most likely fill the gap and retest this red line that is, essentially resistance, or should be at least before. Now it should be support. So I expect to come down, fill the gap, and also act as a support in this kind of 290-ish level. And if that happens, I will be entering a bullish position. So we'll see what happens with that. Again, a short-term bullish position. I'll make that very, very clear. Short-term, right? That's kind of what I expect to happen there. So we'll see if that comes to fruition or not, which will also line up with, kind of dancing around the white line of the Bollinger Band, which it usually does after it comes back to it from one of the upper or bottom ends. Something else to consider. 50 moving average was still well below that. Again, 200, we blasted right past it. I'll be completely honest, I did not think we would. I was pretty convinced that the 200 moving average would be a major resistance, as it has been several times, and we would essentially just drop down below it. Clearly not the case. However, again, I do want to make this very clear. Now, I keep saying this every single time, and every single time this happens, I say it, and I end up always being right. It's just the timing happens to not always be, completely accurate. But every single time we get these kind of parabolic moves upwards where, again, I do want to make this very clear. In this course of 4 trading days, guys, just 4 trading days, we went up 13%. Just keep that in mind. Not financial advice. Make your own decisions. That, again, as usual, as I've said that several times, when we went from here all the way up to here, when we went from here all the way up to here, when we went from like here to here, like, it's not normal to just keep going up. And I know I'm going to get a lot of people, just mad in the comments for whatever reason. Like, oh my God, man, you're such a Tesla bear. Like, it is what it is, right? I really couldn't care less about your comments because I try to look at this and I'm non-biased. I am a bull on Tesla as a company. I am a bear on the market, which includes TSLA, right? As of right now, again, just for now. But when you have moves like this, where you just run up 4 days in a row, pretty much of just complete and utter green with like almost no selling pressure, that's not completely normal. So unless Tesla can essentially break this kind of 303 level and go above it, and especially break 312, I am still net bearish. I do want to make that very clear. However, with that being said, with the strength shown today, that does make me think that, this kind of major drop that I still think will happen, just across the market in general, might take a little bit longer. Again, I personally think it'll be somewhere near the second half of September, sometime in second half. I don't know exactly when, but sometime in the second half of September, I personally do believe we will get a massive drop, as I've also shown you guys by the chart. And I have said before, the first half of September will be either neutral at worst to bullish. Second half will be bearish. First half of October will be essentially what September is, neutral to bearish or bullish. Second half of October, bearish. And currently, we're obviously seeing the first half of September being, neutral to bullish easily, right? I mean, at this point, pretty much just straight bullish. So, just keep in mind, I do want to make that extremely clear. But as I've said, with this move now and the RSI just pointing straight up, looking actually not that bad now, to be completely honest with you, at least for now. The 4 hour, it's not looking that bad. Just a beautiful move up to the top side. 3 hour, like pretty much across the board, the RSI to me, as of right now, doesn't look that bad. Surprisingly, doesn't look that bad. Now, that doesn't mean that we're not going to get red days and we're just going to go green, 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 green. However, it doesn't look that bad to where, again, I personally think that maybe it'll take a little bit longer to move to the upside. So, for instance, maybe next week is still fairly bullish for the most part, other than obviously some red days, maybe to come fill the gap at like 290 or something like that. Again, would not be surprised. But until we pretty much enter this like the week of the 19th to the 23rd and so on, it's pretty much between the 19th to the 30th is where I would personally, not financial advice, be very, very cautious with this market. Again, take it as you will. But this leading up to next week, this makes me think that, maybe next week might actually still not be that bad. Which is why if we get a nice, beautiful red day, hopefully to come fill this gap or somewhere relatively close to it, I will be entering a bullish position for that week. I'm hoping Monday or Tuesday will be that day. I think it will be, especially with CPI. That's just my current guess, right? But that is essentially what I'm currently perceiving, right? Again, RSI across the board, not looking that bad. Like it really isn't. Like as much as I want this thing to just absolutely rocket down to like Earth's core so I can buy as cheap as possible, I'm not gonna, be in denial as to how the market looks at the moment. And at the moment, it's not looking as bad as I thought it would be, right? For now. I still think we'll go down. I just think it'll take longer. And I think there are some more bullish plays to be made on this market and based on how it's moved today. And I don't think that the crash, if you will, is ready to go just yet. Same with the SPY. I personally think that the SPY will come down to around 400. Most likely, as you can see several times, 400 has been a major resistance that we had issues pushing over. And then we finally barely closed above it. And that essentially created this parabolic move upwards. So now I want to see the SPY come down, fill this gap, and then maybe potentially go higher. I think best case for the SPY is like 412. I don't think we'll go much higher than that personally. But I do want to see a move to the downside for the SPY, which will be a gap fill at 400. Same concept for Tesla, which will be a gap fill at 290. And then I want to see what happens from there. I do think we'll get a little bit of a bounce. At worse, I think we'll get some nice consolidation, which will be good for me as a premium killer. So I'm okay with that as well. But that's essentially what I'm waiting on. And that's essentially what I am seeing at the very moment. So in case you want to see, it'll be something like this somewhere around maybe Tuesday is my guess. That honestly is my best guess for this to happen. Get a nice gap fill, move to the downside. And then, I'm not really sure what will happen from here. Maybe we'll go back up here and get rejected here. Pretty likely. Maybe we even go all the way up here and get a triple top potentially. I wouldn't put as much weight into this, but it's not impossible. Or we come down here and then we get some consolidation like this before ultimate downside. That's essentially what I'm seeing at the very moment, right? But based on how the chart looks, I don't think that stocks like Tesla, and I don't think the market, it doesn't seem like it's ready to fall just yet. It feels like it needs something to really make it look like it's ready to fall. We'll see. Again, usually crashes are extremely difficult to predict, like pretty much near impossible to predict. So, take everything as you will with a grain of salt. This is why you don't want to be like all in bearish or like all in bullish or something like that, right? Manage your own risks accordingly, of course. But that's kind of what I'm seeing, guys. That's what I'm seeing right now. That's how I think the market is going to be moving. Wouldn't be surprised if Monday is potentially a little bit more green. Again, maybe to 302 to 303. Or just straight consolidation. Maybe if we're lucky, Monday and Tuesday will be the red days. I'm hoping to go back to 290, gap fill, retest this breakout that we just had over this red line, and then maybe consolidate or push up a little bit higher as well, maybe back to 303 or something like that as well. Not impossible. So we'll see what happens with that, guys. But that's kind of what I'm seeing. Taking a quick look at the weekly chart, a pretty nice looking candle on the weekly as well, just showing absolute utter bullishness, just like straight buying pressure this whole week. It is what it is, right? It's good. Sometimes you have these kind of weeks and, it happens, right? I mean, the same thing happened here and same thing happened here. And then we had a massive fall. Like, just keep in mind, guys, when you have parabolic moves up, that usually means that the fall, when it does happen, because it will be a little bit more severe, and vice versa. When the fall is severe, the run up will be also, pretty spontaneous, I guess, or like, aggressive, if you will. That's just how the market works. So take it as you will. Personally, I am leaning a little bit overall net bullish short term for next week, despite me still thinking that, we might, start the week off with some red, hopefully just over 290, get a gap fill, get a bounce off this red line being the breakout, maybe run up from there. And then I think the week after that is when I would really be careful. Not financial advice, make your own decisions, but that's essentially what I'm seeing. In case you're curious about my positions right now, the only thing I've entered in terms of like a true bearish position as a put is just one SPY put, which happens to be like 0.3% of my portfolio. Again, like I'm not willing to, I'm not, going crazy on risk here. I'm being relatively overall safe. I'm not here to, I don't need to make like an obscene amount of money and like YOLO it and, or, whatever. I'm okay to make the money I'm making. I'm perfectly happy with that. It works for me. Everyone has their own, way to do it. However, I have entered one SPY put. It's a 400 put for near the end of October. That's the only one I'm holding at the moment. And the only time I'll add another one is if we come all the way up to 412, I'll add pretty much the same one again. Other than that, I'm chilling. The other thing I do have open right now is I did sell a call on Tesla. I used to have a call on Tesla for next week for 280, and I bought that back and I resold a fresh one for, I pretty much rolled it, same strike, 280 strike, but I put it also for the end of October to net me overall more premium on this parabolic move up while the calls are just worth so much, mainly because I am overall still net bearish, right? But again, that's just one call sold. That's just 100 shares. That's it. And the rest of my portfolio is literally all cash. So that's kind of what I'm seeing. So let me know what you guys think down below. I know people are I can already see the comments saying that, oh my God, you're all cash. That's why you want the market to fall. I mean, yeah, no shit. Of course I want the market to fall if I'm all cash. Because the reason I'm all cash is because I think it will, right? That's just how it works, right? But that's kind of what I'm seeing. Again, despite my, selfishness, if you will, for wanting the market to fall so I can buy cheap, I do think that, the market short term still, probably just next week, has a little bit of more room to be, somewhat bullish. And I'm going to probably play accordingly to that. So that's what I'm seeing. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Thank you all so much for watching. I think it's been an overall great week. We nailed pretty much every single move this week except for today's. I think today's the only day where I was, wasn't completely like dead on, which it happens, right? Sometimes you get these parabolic moves that are just hard to predict, a little bit more aggressive than you thought, but it is what it is. Next week we'll continue, and hopefully you guys will be here for that as well. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Peace.